why did you even choose to do it? Like, what was your original thought?
Well, my original thought was that a few years ago, when I was still living in Germany, I used to get quite regularly vitamin injections, and these were given to you by naturopaths in Germany. Because in Germany, naturopaths are allowed to give you kind of infusions, what they call it, so in the blood directly. When I came to Switzerland, it was not possible anymore. And I was searching for ways who would be perhaps injecting vitamins, because I was thinking it would do me well because of all my traveling, my intense practices, etc. Yoga practices. And as I was searching, I found this company that was proposing vitamin packages, yes, but also this NAD. That's how I came on it. And I read the description of what it was doing, and especially on the effects on your cognitive health. And there I got very interested, because since I had done all these researches on what happens during menopause on our cognitive situation as women, I thought this is exactly what we need. So I contacted them, and they confirmed me of the good effects, etc. And so they told me I would feel probably the effects after the third injection. I felt it quite quickly. I felt it already, I would say, second injection, I felt a big change in my body. And I said to my mom, I feel I'm 15 years younger.
What were the effects that you felt?
In my body, I felt a kind of like as if you had nourished something. I don't know how to tell you, like repumping something inside, It felt great. And then as I finished the treatment and I had my 4 injections, I really started feeling that I was sleeping better, yes, that I was less innerly tensed. Really, I lost my inner tension. That I could handle situations with much more calm. So a situation where I would normally freak out, I was not freaking out. And I took up challenges right now, as I told you, with arriving in Portugal, taking on the land here, trying to getting things done that are not easy for a girl like me, because I have zero idea about that. And I think I would have normally stressed more, really. And I just kept walking forward without anxiety. So that there I noticed something had changed. And so I practiced also quite well. One thing that hasn't changed is that I still feel body pains. It's not gone. And another thing that has changed is the hot flashes. So my flashes after 2 or 3 years of taking estrogens, I noticed, so at the beginning they had really calmed down, and suddenly I had noticed since a few months that they were coming back like more and more and more. And as I had talked to the gynecologist, he had said you should perhaps go for adding progesterone to your hormone replacement therapy. And so I didn't do it. And since I took the NAD, the hot flashes have completely reduced. Reduced, like same effect as when I was taking estrogen at the beginning. You see?
Interesting. And that kept going, like that's lasted, or do you feel like they're coming back?
I don't know. I feel I have less hot flashes, like I have perhaps 2 or 3 a day, I noticed, where I was again at 15, 20, easy.
Wow.
So this an inner tranquility, really where I had this inner tension, no more inner tension. This has gone.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That's no less stress. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even if things that you're going through are kind of stressful, it's like, the stress is not affecting me that much innerly.
It's like the internal stress, even though you can't change what's happening outside of you, but the effect.
But the effect is so reduced. So Yeah, this I can tell you, I can testimony of it.
Yeah. And is the idea that, or do you know, is the idea that you're done, or do you have to continue taking it?
So you have to continue taking it. And so what they suggest is one a perfusion per month to continue it.
Okay.
Or you can put it in the nose. So I bought two nose sprays that I should be pressing in every day. But I'm not doing every day. I do it one day on two.
Yeah.
But I'm trying, but no, it's so you have to kind of continue it. But you have done the full treatment, and then it's better to keep it going.
Yeah.
That's what
and
they say.
The levels that you checked, so they checked your NAD levels. How often would you get that checked? Do you know?
So they check it. They say before you do the treatment and after. And so in my case, they did it 3 times because they were not sure if they had. It was weird. My NAD levels sunk after I took the perfusions, so they didn't understand. So they redid it, and it had sunken even more. Huh. So they say they never saw that. It's the first time they see that case, and they are searching to see why.
Wow. Okay.
And so one of their solutions was that because I was receiving external NAD, my system started to imbalance, to stop producing, reduce its production because it was coming from outside. But they're not sure about it.
Yeah.
So they should be retesting me in May when I go back to Switzerland.
Okay.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Have you noticed the cognitive stuff you were talking about before? How has that been in terms of remembering things, processing things, like brain fog?
No brain fog. Very clear. No brain fog, very clear, very clear. Yeah.
And that feels different? Did you feel like...
Yeah, I tell you all this because, it affects immediately your nervosity. So I feel that it's really there's something happening up there because you are less nervous, you are more clear in your intentions, less hot flushes, better sleep in a way. So I think this is how it's affecting the brain and the nervous system.
Yeah, that's interesting.
No mental tension. This, when I'm talking to you about this reduction of this inner tension, it comes from the mental. So the mental is not as tensed.
Right. I guess the idea would be, I'm trying to think of this from almost like a yogic perspective also, or even a Franklin method perspective, in terms of you can't experience something you haven't experienced, right? So after you've had this experience, whether or not you continue with NAD, I wonder if it's possible to conjure up those feelings again. You know what I mean? Because now you've had them. It's like we do with Franklin method, where you can tell someone all day, relax your shoulder, relax your shoulder. Once they've had an experience of a relaxed shoulder, now they can conjure up the memory of a relaxed shoulder.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's similar.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. This is the whole question. I'm not sure if it's something is really the feeling that you have had food that was missing. Mm-hmm. It's like as if you have sucked a nectar. And this is in when I do Franklin method, or if I do yoga, we go and we reactivate stuff. But there is it's acting really on I don't know how to describe it. It's as if you had been, you have received a hydration, for example.
Yeah.
So it's true that when we do the Franklin method exercises, or we release and we feel the blood circulating and the fluids, etc., something is on again, but it's in a zone, it's one moment, it's not at this intensity. There, this feeling you had, you must multiply it by 100 or 200. You see?
Yeah.
This kind of release is like much more stronger. It's like, imagine a flower is like this, and suddenly the flower goes like this.
Yeah. And it's all day. It's not just when you're practicing.
No. Voila. It's not just at the moment, yeah, good, super, I felt it now. No, it's okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Exactly the yoga practice. The yoga practice, you do it, you feel so good. And then at the end of the day, you're back in all your pains.
So has there been anything to help your back pain? Like, because for you, it's back pain, right?
Yeah, but for me, back pain resulting from a completely unstraight spine, unstraight hips. I'm sure a lot of us are like this, but as we age, these differences or these imbalances, they increase. So the yoga and the Franklin methods are that important in the sense that they keep circulation going. They keep stretch, elongation, strengthening happening, although you produce less muscles or etc. The whole is as if you were keeping the system alive and stopping mobility, stopping inner work, stopping breath, etc. to go in there. Then it's as if you would, how could you say, you would retract the juice of life would go out of you. You know, you would close down, you would block, you would fix, you would, as it happens when we age. I mean, if you look at the body, it sucks in. That's a natural tendency. So keeping the body moving, keeping the breath flowing, working on calming the mind, it just keeps this flow of life going on in you. When you take the NAD, the feeling is you get a flow of life that is 100 times more powerful. 100, I'm not saying it, 1,000 times more powerful. And as you say, it stays. So what we get as a release just after our practice or during our practice or as we do the Franklin method exercises, but then one moment we get back to our pains or our unease. Whereas there, certain things come back, certain pains come back, but you are much more at ease inwardly.
Yeah, that's interesting. So do you feel like that's in terms of other than movement stuff, which I know helps, like you're saying, it helps while you're doing it and maybe a little bit after, but has there been anything else that's helped the pain, like the discomfort?
I know that when I don't do it, it gets worse. I know that when I do it, I'm better. You see? Exactly a little bit like this exercise that is so brilliant that we have in Franklin. Imagine you lift your arm and your arm is heavy like 500 kilo, and imagine that your arm is lifting like a beautiful feather. How is the movement different? It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
I mean, when you practice, the fact that or when you move, the fact that you are re-putting this whole engine to life, you feel better. When you don't practice, you're not putting it to life.
Yeah.
So as the days go and you don't practice or and you don't work in it, it's like millions of little deaths into you. So it affects your mood, but it affects your body. And the more you age, the more it affects your body.
Yeah.
Your mood.
And the quicker you feel the effects, probably.
Yeah. And you will see somebody who has a kind of practice and somebody who has not. You're going to see how they come and shine in life.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I think all this is so compelling. And even if like it's not the best sound or light or any of those things, I feel like putting it up to get just to like record where you are in the process. And then, like.
And if you would tell me, should you substitute NAD to any kind of other practices? I would say no, because now I took NAD. And if I was not doing my practices every day or every second day or whatever, I get in a place of uncomfort in my back, in my mind. It's not I would say it's not a substitute, but it's okay. You take no hormone replacement. You still keep doing your practices because they help you going
right
in this life. You take your hormone replacement. You keep doing your practice. It's not you give up your practices.
Yeah, it's not a magic pill.
Voilà, it's a way of embracing life. It's a way of how you get up in the morning.
Yeah.
But the effect of this is something very different. I cannot compare it to yoga. I cannot compare it to Franklin. You just feel you get food. Something like this, inner food.
Yeah. I know that feeling. I've had that with a vitamin, with vitamin B12. Where it is that feeling of like, oh, this is something I should be having. And when you take it, it's like you feel your cells just like pick it up and soak it up. And yeah.
Exactly like this. And it feels good. It really feels good. And you really feel like at the moment you're doing something good to yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's psychological because I don't know, perhaps, but I really felt it. And after the second shot, I tell you, I just said to my mom, I feel 15 years younger.
Wow. Yeah. And so that was how long ago? That was like a month ago?
That was more than a month ago. That was 6 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to hear along the way. Like I know you're not doing it again until you go back to Switzerland, but
well, I'm taking it now in the nose because once you have done the treatment, which are the four injections, 2 times 250, 2 times 500 ml, then they ask you if you can to keep once a month an injection of, I think it was 500 ml, if you can, and to keep the levels up. If not, they propose a substitute that you can put in the nose and that you should take every day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So now when I'm going to go back in May, we're going to have, again, a blood analysis, see how it is, and perhaps then do deeper analysis and try to understand before I get more injected what's happening.
Yeah, and I would also, it'd be interesting to, to interview after that one, but to include some imagery with the injections, like, to imagine, like you're saying, you feel nourished, you feel like you're having some kind of food. And I wonder if as you receive even the nose spray, would it be helpful to also include some imagery around like, okay, my cells are receiving NAD, they're receiving, being bathed in magical water. Like,
no, I can tell you the nose spray is not the same effect at all. And then when you take it, the NAD, it's not pleasant, Alison. You have to have it dripped really slowly because you get very quickly heat effect, throw up effect, dizziness, headache.
Okay.
It's not pleasant while you're having it. It's you have to have had a good meal before, and they have to stay like 1 hour and a half up to 2 hours.
Oh wow. Okay.
So vitamin, you can do it in 20 minutes. It's done.
Yeah.
But not NAD.
Huh. Yeah. So then, so imagery, I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah, I can. Next time I get injected, I can take pictures and send you.
Yeah, and even just, your own, like, I have someone I work with who's going through chemo right now, which I know is a very different thing, but they're trying to use some of that just positive mental imagery about like, this is, bathing my cell, like all the stuff that we could possibly think. So the nervous system might welcome it a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, although no, not I didn't feel that with the NAD. Yeah, I you try to welcome it exactly, but if they increase the speed, it's like
Yeah, that's wild.
yeah, yeah.